Hey everybody, track of the morning to you laddies. Yesterday I apologized for the abrupt exit, but it was, warranted. I was 1 minute away from being on the podcast, and I went like all day yesterday. It was like, video, podcast, video, Twitch, Chance Choice Awards. I was running myself ragged yesterday. Appreciate the extra 20 minutes or so at Trackmania. We managed to splice to give me to make it possible. But today we got Cold Hands, an Interpol song. Gold is 28, Author's 26, so it's a short track. Average review, say like 5, 6, 7, and 8 all seem pretty common here today. Which is, maybe a little bit above average. GPS to the right, maybe? What do you... Oh, dude! A legendary finish. You just go like this, up and over, through the checkpoint, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe GPS behind? Nope, we're just gonna have to figure this one out for ourselves, huh? Alright, let me get the volume set up here. I am ready to go. I am dialed, I'm hip, I'm with it. Little heavy tarmac there at the start. I will say... Look, it's probably irresponsible to review the track considering I haven't even played it yet. But a 28-second gold medal is the kind of thing that'll really tickle my fancy. It already has a built-in advantage. I tend to prefer the short tracks. I will say it does appear to be a little speed check city here. Not that there's anything necessarily inherently wrong with that. I don't know why that became like a Hamilton rap. Necessarily inherently inheriting our nation, so revelation. Why do I feel this frustration? I should feel elation. Not relegation to the... Okay, you get it. The trials and tribulations of the... British Empire, I'm tired. So it worked so hard I perspired. Okay, hold on. Send it. Speed check. Box. There you go. Oh, skirt. This would be one where some GPS would really help you out, man. This would be one where some GPS would really hit the spot. Because it feels like a full-speed track. Right now. There you go. That's... You don't want the hang time on that. Or air time. I always forget which is which. But, we're pretty okay right now. I don't know why old me slowed down so much here. Oh, that's not old me. That's old me. It's a very fast track, not a lot of room for error, for sure. I'm like, where the heck do you want to drive on this one? Surely you don't want to drive on the wall. Well, that's gonna compromise our ability a little bit. I guess you could keep going down, but... Alright, hold on. So in this one you want to be right side, right into the chicane, like Michael McKean in the best episode of Better Call Saul. We lost a ton of speed, I don't even want to think about it. Gotta come around this way just to stay steady. No, you don't drive on the wall. Okay, so that... You drive close to the top of the wall, though. That's interesting. Then straight wheels here, because ice is not your friend. Ice is not your friend. Okay. I think we can do this. It's not gonna... Like, yesterday's track was just a towering beauty, right? Today's track... We don't know yet. It's a little bit spicier, there's no doubt. Screw. We gotta figure out how the heck you're supposed to run it. I will say, lots of good stuff happened yesterday. Yesterday was a great day. Chance Choice Awards was a lot of fun if you didn't watch it. The VOD's available on my Twitch channel, but, there's also some clips going around that you can just go to the subreddit and see. You don't have to watch the whole show necessarily, though I would encourage you to do so. But you can get the vibe of how we did just from the clips. So, I would recommend it. I'm not going to say that the clip of us being on the show is the highest viewed clip in Twitch Gaming's history after less than, 24 hours of actually being available to view, but I'm not saying it. And then on top of that, imagine my surprise. Canucks are down 3-1 in the series against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Chad's Choice Awards finish up halfway through the second period, 1-0 Canucks. Good job, but that's not going to do it. Turns out that was enough to do it. 4-0 win, Thatcher Demko getting a 48-save shutout, which is just honestly bonkers. And Game 7 going tonight. So, what I'm talking about right now, the things only age two different ways. Things can age like milk, and things can age like mirin. And I'm hoping this ages like mirin. Okay. Send it. Send it. You want to go near the top of the inflatable tube. Okay, then straight on. Bro. The end of this course is a real son of a gun. I think I gotta take like a wider approach because you need more speed going through that section. What's crazy is like I'm pretty sure that the gold here is only gold by like 0.002. So we're gonna like it's not enough to just be in contention. We really gotta kind of cream it. Like it needs to be eating our rear view mirror. Ooh, that's probably not how you'd want to get it started here. So, some of this track is a little frustrating, yes, but I would also say, I think we should slide that, honestly. It's inconsistent when we try to full speed it. I would honestly say that in spite of that, I give this track a lot of credit right now. Even though it's early, I give it a lot of credit because of the fact that it's short. I feel like I want to like memeable tracks in Trackmania. What ends up happening sometimes is... Oh, that's no good, dude. Or is it? Or is it? It's a silver, I think. What ends up happening sometimes is, you know, a track will have meme elements, and then it'll also be like 1 minute and 10 seconds long. And that's where your brain just goes like, can we, like, not? So I think this has a good balance of... It's a quick hit. It's like... You know, imagine if you listen to a rap album and there was like a 40-minute skit on it. I will tolerate, you know, a skit that's 45 seconds long. You know, Big Boy going, must be tea time. And then Janelle Monáe going, ooh, ooh. And then the sweet synth bass comes in. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. I'm very familiar with Big Boy's 2009 solo album, Sir Luscious Left Foot. I mean, come on, the Shine Blockers music video that was filmed after Gucci Mane went to prison, and he was shot entirely in black and white. It looked like it was a tribute to him after he died. Speaking of which, he's still alive, in case you were wondering, you know, why I would be such a downer. This is one of my favorite albums of, I can't remember if it was 2009 or 2010. There was definitely one summer where all I listened to was LCD Sound System's This Is Happening. Sir Luscious Left Foot, Big Boy's solo album, and then also Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti. Okay, hold on. This is probably us coming up behind, unfortunately. Yeah. What's funny is that when I was a little late to the, you know, phone music trend for sure. I didn't start listening to music on my phone until like maybe 2014. I still had like an MP3 player I would use. But when I started running, I would be like, you know, I need to have the GPS and stuff and the tracking. So I would listen to music on my phone. I paid, because this is like pre-Google Play Music. I'm not sure if it was pre-Spotify, but it was post-Groove Shark, that's for sure. I paid $10 to buy the Big Boy solo album, but I accidentally bought like the Parental Guidance is Advised version. So despite paying what is an exorbitant price for music, admittedly still less than you paid for CDs when I was a kid, but you know, like the market's not there anymore. We're also paying, you know, not $700,000 for a computer the size of your house anymore. But not only that, you know, he swears a little bit. So, you know, honestly, I got way less syllables out of that album that I should have paid for. The dollars per syllable count was way too high. But that little known fact, that is the album I was listening to when I tore my meniscus running along the beach in Vancouver. So if you ever want to picture a sad moment, it's me being, you know, 4 or 5 kilometers from home. And then, you know, just searing pain throughout my leg, and then as don't block my shine, homie. Hold up, head for the shoulder, rolled up, hosed up, drop with the dope up, you know. is a great dichotomy. Walking home trying to like keep tears out of my eyes because of some of the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Meanwhile, big boy with my southern drawl, awkwardly I spray like the backside of a skunk. Okay. Anyway, we're losing it here. I apologize. But there's a little known piece of NL lore for you. Yeah, I know Shine Blockers. I don't know why everyone thinks all I listen to is like Bon Iver. I don't listen to Bon Iver, you know? I got nothing against Bon Iver, but, you know, I was kind of like already out of the scene by the time that For Emma Forever Ago, or whatever the heck the album was called, came out. Everyone thinks that I'm out here listening to Iron and Wine. I don't listen to Iron and Wine. My Garden State soundtrack days are behind me. I got nothing against Iron and Wine. It's just not for me. Prefer my music a little bit more frenetic. Okay, where are we at? 11 minutes? Bro. I just, like, let me put it this way. First things first. Yeah, I'll eat your brains, okay? But second thing second. Very glad I turned on ghosts early. I think that's been one of our best newfound habits for sure, is early ghosts. We actually did like a real slide there, and I didn't know what to do afterwards. I'm not used to not having to do jank slides. Bro. But I really feel like a GPS would be nice here. That corner, there's going to be a lot of time to pull from that. I don't think this was our best journey on it, but I think when we get some better ghosts at our disposal, we'll figure that one out a little faster. Well, limited hang time. There you go. But don't sweat it. Like, it all comes down to this part at the end anyway. Old me's catching up for sure. Oh my god, dude. I am kind of thinking that we might benefit from going like full early egg carton on this one. But my hunch right now is that this is one of those tracks where when you get it, you got it. You know what I mean? Like for now, we're kind of struggling to find the line. But I'm sure at some point we'll hit a level where like we have muscle memory. And when we get to that, like, don't stop me now because I'm having a good time. That's all I'm saying. Like, even just that right there, probably shouldn't have laid off the throttle, like, at all, but... Oh, you know what? Did see that my man went way far to the right on that ramp. It's an interesting approach, but a welcome one. Now that, except for laying off the throttle, that felt more in line with what I'm looking for. That, on the other hand... felt like a cosmic disaster, but that's okay, we're still here. But I am losing my edge. The cars are coming up from behind. Okay, so we're gonna go play alone, and it's not salt. This is just, this is a good technique here. So we put on one ghost that's kind of like at our speed, along with our old self. This will give us a good baseline. And then we also want to follow along. Okay, so... all ghosts are flying. There is no zero hang time. So that's reassuring in and of itself. And we'll start to, you know, it's only a 26-second track. We're going to start to tease this apart pretty quickly. We don't need a whole bunch of elements to be mastered in order to get to where we want to go, you know? Had to lay off the throttle, but that was still smooth. That one, I'm not totally sure if it was still smooth. And now I can't see what these dudes are doing. I'll tell you one thing they're doing. Flying off into outer space. How do you do it? I think it's all speed, honestly. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. I think it's all speed. That was a good run, too. So what is it? The only difference... We gotta cut off like 4 seconds. if we're gunning for that author medal. That's tough. But we're definitely, like, the gold... I mean, how many... Stop me if you've heard this one before. The gold should be very much in play. We gotta figure out how to minimize hang time there. And then this is all speed, dude. Like, that's terrible. I'm not... Like, my performance is terrible. But you know what I'm gonna say. Also, the element is a little terrible. I do know they have, like, the consolation prize if you want to go through that way, but come on. Come on, man. I think we get... The gold is an automatic. And then, you know, that's my new MO, you know? It's my new modus operandi. It's my new methodology. We'll worry more about getting the gold and then seeing where the author strikes us. But yeah, yesterday was a good day. Today's going to be a great day as well. I mean, it might sound presumptuous, but I'm really, like, I'm set up nicely for today. We're doing a sponsored stream for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered. And I gotta tell you, I'm not saying I'm the best Tony Hawk's Pro Skater player in the world, but one of the reasons I'm bad at modern games is because as a kid I played too much Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk kind of fizzled out in the industry, you know, before I became a streamer, right? There we go. That's a little better. Taking a little hit off the metal straw. Don't mind. But I'm like, I have the muscle memory. And no disrespect to my good friend Daniel, but I was watching him play and I was losing my mind. Dude spends 100% of his time in the game in a full squat. Doesn't manual, doesn't revert, and exclusively does the grab tricks that are, like, hard to land because they have funny names. You gotta respect it. He's kind of like the Tony Hawk everyman. But I'm telling you, there's like 3 games or 4 games in my entire life I would flex for. I was really good at Project Gotham Racing 2 on the original Xbox. Nationally significant. Not internationally significant, but nationally significant. As a 10th grader, I got all the platinum trophies in the game. Or platinum medals, sorry. I almost outed myself as a fake gamer there. And I can tell you some stuff. I don't remember what you... I think if you get all bronze, you unlock... Oh, now you're throwing me. I think all bronze unlocks the Porsche 911. Correct me if I'm wrong. All silvers gets you the Mercedes CLK GTR. All golds got you, I mean, an all-time classic sports car, the Ferrari Enzo. And then all platinums got you the TVR Cerberus Speed 12. If you saw a TVR Cerberus Speed 12 in a PGR2 lobby on the original Xbox, 99% chance they went to Walmart and bought themselves an action replay in order to just cheat and unlock it. Not me. I remember I was upset with Bizarre Creations. I've said this before. They made Project Gotham Racing 2. It's one of my favorite racing games of all time. However, I grinded my butt off. It took, like, you know, weeks to get that all platinum medals. It required incredible finesse, skill, and practice. And then and this is way in the infancy of DLC. They released like a $5 or $10 DLC pack that had a couple of new maps and then a bunch of new cars. And the car you could unlock with all platinums was in the pack. So it's like, you know, I'll admit it's not really the most balanced way to set up a game, to have the best car unlockable to the best players and then have the worst players be forced to drive worse cars in lobbies. But, like, you know, that was like a sign of pride that I gave my life to get. And then they were just like, $5. That's worth more than $5 to me, Bizarre. Anyway. I'm just saying, you know, it wasn't that imbalanced. Like, the Cerberus Speed 12, and now we're getting into, like, you're like, who cares, Grandpa? Let's get you to bed, old man. But, the Cerberus Speed 12, compared to the Mercedes, or the Enzo, or even the Porsche 911, it was, like, much harder to drive, but had slightly better stats. So you did have an advantage. Like, somebody who was handy with the steel would beat you with that car, you know, most of the time if they knew what they were doing. But if you put it in the hands of an amateur, they'd be better off driving something that's easier to control, like a Caterham R500 S7 with the lunchbox in the back. Anyway. So that's one of them. Another one, and people, and I'll admit, you know, with the inflation of gamer skill that's come since the rise of streaming, and I genuinely believe that, you know, like back in the day, you would watch a video on YouTube of like someone beating a song in Guitar Hero 2, and you'd be like, whoa, they're really good. Now you're like, whoa, they beat it. They had their eyes open. It's like cheating. Anyway, Rock Band, like all instruments except vocals. That's another one that I'm actually really good at. You know, I didn't FC every song in the game. I wasn't at that level of no life, no offense. I mean, I was in college when it came out, so, you know, it was a great game for, like, you know, when you're at a social event or something like that. You bust out the Rock Band, everybody loves it. I'm glad it's having a little bit of a moment again. Well, we're not making this one back, I'll tell you that much. Never mind, we're making this one. Never mind, we're not making this one back. And I'm telling you sincerely, I could beat every song in the game on Expert, and I'd FC maybe like, I don't know. Probably not half of them, but at least a third. On any instrument but vocals. Yes, including the drums. You mean but drums, right? No, dude, the drums were like, that was the hottest of all the instruments. Everybody fought over who got to play the drums the most. Except when you had normies over, they would argue over who gets to sing. And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, like, again, I'm not the best in the world, okay? And it's been years since I played. But I remember, like, I played 1, 2, 3, 4, Tony Hawk's Underground 1, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. That's where I washed out. But, like, I was keeping the combos going for, like, the entire length of the 2-minute timer for those early games, you know? I hate the ending element here, dude. You know, you get yourself in, I'm more of a vert skater personally, but you get yourself in the half pipe. You do 900 revert manual, 900 revert manual, 900 revert manual, 900 revert manual, 900 revert manual. Then when the 900 starts to get diminishing returns, you start to throw in something else. Now this whole time you're also gradually losing speed, so you know at some point you're going to have to pivot. When you get low speed, you pivot. You manual out of a revert and you go to, you know, grind on some rails, and then it's like grind, kickflip, different grind, kickflip, different grind, heel flip, different grind, pop, shove it, different grind, 360 shove it. Then you keep, you know, just keep it going. Then eventually you have no speed, and that's when you go like, okay, we're becoming Rodney Mullen. It's all flatland tricks at all times now. And you could just add in like another few, you know, hundreds to your multiplier there. So there's like, maybe I said 3 or 4. I think 3 is the real answer. There's like 3 games in the entire history of video gaming that that I will be like, I'm pretty good at these. So I'm looking forward to it. So how could it be a bad day? Maybe I'm worse than I thought, whatever. We're still, you know, here I am, doing everything I can. Holding on to what I have, pretending I'm a Superman. Now, we gotta be lower on that curve, because we're losing so much throttle there. And honestly, losing the throttle there might be what's crushing me and not giving me enough speed here. It's a frustrating ending, but I actually quite like the start of this course. And believe it or not, I think I've diagnosed our central conundrum here. And it happens fast. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. We lost a little bit of speed there for sure, too, but... Bro, let's go! Got a lucky bounce. Alright, so that was not even, like, that amazing. We learned what we have to do. We have to hug the inside edge of that corner to a very high degree. And what's author today? Hold on, let me peep the Discord, because it's still pretty early. 26.112. Honestly, seems pretty doable. No promises, but because, you know, I mean, what are these? Now that I think about it, I'm like, aren't our ghosts here at like 25? Yeah, that's, I mean, but it's a short track, so there being a small difference between author and best in the egg carton, especially like less than 2 hours after the track goes live. It's maybe not that indicative of being that difficult, but we'll see. It'll take a really, really good line here, that's for sure. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it either, but then you gotta skirt. Anyway, those are my flex games. Unfortunately, you know, Twitch wasn't around in 2003. If it were, you know, I might be one of the biggest streamers on the platform because of my incredible Tony Hawk's Pro Skater gameplay. But then you would also be like, who's this dude with the receding hairline and frosted tips? Isn't this dude supposed to be in 9th grade? And I'd be like, my hairline's not receding. It just has always been like that. I just have very fine hair. The king of the sends, the king of the sends. I got a lot of leeway for Trackmania right now. We very famously, and by very famously I mean almost nobody will remember, went through a period a few days ago where we were not having a great time, and that was not great. However, and I'll be honest with you, if you switch the positioning of the last two tracks, if this track had been yesterday and the 10 out of 10 had been today, you know, we might have been facing a concerning situation. But as long as they keep breaking up meme tracks with genuine slappers, I'm an incredibly happy man. Okay, we clipped the side of that one, but that's you know, I mean, I don't expect every track to be a 10 out of 10. Not every song on the Hamilton soundtrack is a 10 out of 10. You know, for every non-stop, you've also got like a Farmer Refuted. It's necessary to have the ebb and the flow. That was pretty good. We are going to be slower than our old self. Unless... No unless. I think we want to be a little tighter to the bottom of that inner tube as well. I mean, we're losing time right on the start. It's a good thing to sort out for sure. No. We live with this. We're still working on that corner. We're still trying new technology on that corner. That's more like it. Yo. Anyway, that's my day. That and, like, very excited. I'm trying to think of, like, the last time there was a Canucks Game 7. It was a long time ago. Partly because we beat St. Louis in 6, but... So, where you guys landed? You're landing, like, here. And then you're exiting like that. Okay. I mean, we beat Minnesota in 4 in a 5-game series. We beat St. Louis in 6 in a 7-game series. And then I'm like, the last playoff series we had was in 2015. We lost in 6 to Calgary. And then I'm like, dude, 2013, I think we lost like 5 to San Jose or something. So like the Canucks haven't been in a Game 7 in 100 years. Pretty exciting. If you're a fan of hockey. If you're not a fan of hockey, you're like, who cares? Well, like, that's fine too. Shh, just let people enjoy things. Oh, we had a suboptimal line, and the suboptimal line is going to crush us there, but we can at least get some practice at this. That was such a substantially smoother finish. That if we can link together our good lap technology with that good finish technology, it's all gonna come together, baby. This is good. Oh! One of those... There's gotta be some studies of the human brain. Why do I know I'm gonna crash before I can send a message to my, like, fingers to change the fact that I'm gonna crash? Stick it, stick it. I didn't stick it. I didn't stick it. And we rattled on the entrance, but you know what? We got good speed still. Didn't get a good bounce on that one, but... Author seems tough. However, I definitely think a much better gold... And it's all about rankings at the end of the day anyway, right? Definitely think a much better gold is in the cards for us. This is fine. Oh! Maybe not a much better gold, but a better gold. Okay, we gotta stop giving up the, like, 1/2 of a tenth to those guys rated to start. I also feel like this is a map where sliding is going to be advantageous, which tends to still work against me. Because every time I'm like, I should learn how to slide. And then I am on the map and I'm like, oh, crap. I didn't learn it. And then people are like, you know, why didn't you learn how to slide? And I'm like, hey, cut me some slack. I got a freaking baby on the way. Oh, you know, if you just grinded for an extra 2 hours, you could have gotten the author medal at the expense of, you know, learning the proper way in terms of child psychology to structure baby feedings. What's worth more to you? And I shouldn't even get into that, because, like, 99% of reasonable people understand, but, like, 1% of people are addicted to begging the question and playing devil's advocate. Well, if you did better at Trackmania, since it is your job, you would probably get more viewers, and then you could use the extra money from those 6 viewers to hire the greatest child psychologist in the world. Alright. Why don't you start your own YouTube channel, Jordan Belfort? Oh, you don't understand. It's different for me. I don't... My laptop can't... it's not... I mean, I don't really have that kind of time. It's not so simple to tell somebody else what to do. Tell somebody else how to live their lives. Meanwhile, this MF... snacking on corn-based snacks with powdered cheese on them, queuing for League of Legends and Hearthstone simultaneously. Imagine that. You should know. Your wife kissed me on the cheek on my way in. Now look at you. Nobody likes your house, Jacob. Okay. Send it. Just practice your speed here. Look, it's a very standard track at this point. It's going to require, like, a really good lap. You know what this is? It's less about the line, it's more about touching the turbo as fast as possible. The faster you can touch the turbo, and actually, like, I think if you even stay diagonal on the turbo, you get the boost a little longer. It's the kind of thing that might make a difference here. Grip it. We gripped it. We gripped it. We got speed, dude. Really? I thought for... I mean, that was the cleanest we've taken that finale section for sure. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I think we might have clipped it, but again, you... I mean, these guys are... They're getting an extra second off you somewhere, so... Keep it moving. Keep it moving here. This one's not... Oh, actually, that was pretty good, too. We were a second behind, but... Alright, so I'm realizing... my author ambitions... pretty unlikely. But that's typical. Like, you know, I have a difference of opinion with some of the Trackmania community. For sure. Here's my thinking. Like, people are worried about, like, gold medal. I've perhaps falsely, as a joke, said that, you know, I think the gold medal is like a participation trophy. Here's what I think about the gold. I think the gold is, like, my ideal balance for it is that it's grindable by an above-average player in, like, half an hour, 45 minutes. Which is pretty much what we got today. Although we're still a little earlier than that, for sure. The author medal, I don't really mind if the author medal feels unattainable. I'm willing to accept that, you know, the author medal is like a reward for the truly great Trackmania players. But here's the thing that I think that people need to be aware of, and it's not like you have any control over it, but when it you know, it's not really like a cautionary tale because I get how it is, but you're always like chasing that dragon, right? When you first got started in Trackmania, you could get excited by, like, a simple chicane. Now you're only excited if you're, like people will, for real, have, like, Stockholm Syndrome and be like, it took me 5 hours to get the author medal, but I think this track is very well balanced. And I'm like, I mean, I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but, I think the difficulty arms race screws us all in the end. We got speed here. Not gonna beat our PB, but we got good speed. Yikes. Again, it's like, and I don't think it's a Trackmania problem. I don't even know if you would call it a problem. It's only a problem if you're not part of the competitive sphere. But like, any game that sucks up people's time to this extent, you know, where it becomes like their main thing, leads to a situation, you know, they get better at a rate disproportionately quick compared to the rest of the population. As a result, they demand, you know, harder and harder stuff. And if something's boring or easy, it's like a cardinal sin, right? Meanwhile, casual players like myself are left in the lurch. We're left with no serotonin hits. We're left with no dopamine. We're close on that one, too. I would say at this point, I don't see myself getting too much better at this track. Kind of see myself, maybe trying to get one more PB and then moving on. And I think that's, you know, it's the same with Isaac, right? Like, there were periods of Isaac, believe it or not, where I was like, I'm gonna get good. I'm gonna be, like, the best gamer. And then after a while, you start to realize, like, is it really about being the best gamer? Or is it about having, like, maximum fun? I think it varies person to person. For me, maximum fun is chief. It's the way that I'm able to play the game and make better videos. And I think the most fun thing I can do is recognize that some tracks, you know, the curve of maximum enjoyment, if you were to take the derivative of the mathematical formula for my Trackmania videos, we have the most fun just past gold. This is a really good one. We did beat it by a little bit there. Hopefully moving up. Might be moving down. Or not moving at all. We have the most fun just slightly past gold. And that's where we're at right now. Slightly past gold. But when we really get into that grind for, like, we're going to try to get to the author medal, I do not like it. As much. I can still, like, there have been different tales, but I think it's less about Trackmania at this point. And it's more about me, you know, recognizing my own limits. It's also more about the fact that, like, the summer tracks are too easy with their medals, and have, you know, set up, like, this situation where I'm like, oh, I'm happy if I get gold, but I'm only, like, really content if I get the author medal, you know? I guess I should reverse that, but you get what I mean. Send it. But on tracks of the day, that's not really plausible. Oh my god. So I guess there's a little bit of, like, a whiny baby inside of me for sure. And I'm recognizing that. Which puts me, you know, behind the average person, but ahead of the average streamer at least. You like that one, Kate? She liked that one. Because, like, the reason I'm whiny about it, though, is I'm like, you know, I'm giving it my all. I want the author medal. But, like, good players still get rewarded by their leaderboard position. Like, you can still let them compete for, like, the top of the leaderboard. Psychologically, though, for me, I'm like, ah, oh, geez, dude, I must be a piece of garbage. Come on, just smooth it out! Must be a piece of garbage. Didn't even sniff at the author medal. Anyway, we'll probably... might try, like, I mean, I think 40 minutes is a good one for today. Track of the day review. I would give this a 7. I'd be at the upper end, I think, of the ratings from the Discord today. Really admire its shortness, for sure. I really admire its shortness. I think that's a big part of it. If this was a longer track, it would be mega cursed if it had the same theming all the way through. What do I dislike about it? It's kind of, you know, it's a standard complaint for a short track, but, like, the medal timing is really, really tough. Like, anytime I look at the best in the egg carton and, like, they kind of barely get in the author medal, or they're like, you know, it took me an hour of grinding, I'm like, alright, I might as well just go frick myself, I guess. You know what else I don't like? I mean, I'm thinking, like, I'm going to become one of those teachers that, like, knocks a point off for missing things. It always annoyed me as a student. I'm like, oh, so I wrote the best essay you've ever seen from a 9th grader. But, because, I mean, she might have read the Federalist Papers. I don't know her whole essay reading history. But I wrote the best essay you've ever seen from a 9th grader, and yet I only got an 80% because I forgot to attach the rubric, which you have 900 copies of in your office anyway. Seems a little unfair, but regardless, it did get me to start attaching the rubric. Suffice it to say, though, I'm at the point now where I'm like, you know what? If you don't attach a GPS to the map that I can refer back to learn, like, some optimum lines, you know, if you rely on your ghost to do the work for you, that's a -1. But I'm gonna keep you at a 7 today. Consider this your one morning. But GPSs in the future will be a -10% to your rating. Now, feel free to meet me in my office hours if I've just neglected to find where the GPS is actually located. You never know. It's been known to happen. To err is human. Oh! But yeah, I think it's track. I mean, I'm gonna be ticking off some stuff on the bingo card, but I'm like, maybe a 7's a little bit high. Let's call this a 6.5. I think I'm rating its length more than I'm actually rating it as a track. I'm like, dude, I love the fact that it's so fast. But it's like, you didn't make it fast. You just made it, and it's small, you know? But I think we're pretty close to being tapped out here. Okay. One last time. Around the bend. Perfect split. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good enough. Got a little too much airtime. Maybe if we get insanely lucky here. We did have a great entrance there. Okay, I mean, you know how it goes. I said one last time, but what I meant is one last, like, good one. We're gonna get there. I mean, even if we don't get there, I'm still like... I mean, you know what? I don't know if this is an old adage, but it's much easier to change your expectations than it is to change your performance. So I'm changing my expectations. Oh, that rattling, though. I'm changing my expectations somewhat. And, dude, that was a really good lap. So it's possible the author medal is in there, but I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. That was a pretty good performance overall. A 26.8. Leave me 3rd in British Columbia. Sorry, sweet A boat. I have defeated you for now. Top 32 in the egg card, and I can live with it for the time being. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!